Blue Jackets take on the Boston Bruins for the second time this season. And, Jody, if you look back a couple of weeks, it was against the Bruins where the Blue Jackets started to get this good feeling going when they went up there and they didn't win the game, but they got a point, and then that went into back-to-back wins against Montreal.
That's right, and Coach Tortorella did not make that trip. He had the bad ribs. That's when that started. But you're right, the Blue Jackets got some footing there. And I don't know what it is about these rough and tumble teams. Blue Jackets seem to do well against them.
Well, one guy that is back in the lineup, and he returned just the other night, is defenseman David Savard. Good to have him back in a game like this because when you put him with Jack Johnson and you have Seth Jones and Ryan Murray, Savard says that gives you good balance on the blue line.
You know, it's a lot of fun to be out there, and it's great to see that the team's rolling too. And I think we see the difference since Jonesy got here. That the team's playing really good defensively, and he makes it a huge difference for us. And like I said, it's fun to have him and to see them, Murray and Jonesy going.
Balance. That's one thing this team is about right now. And one thing also, Bob. When you look at these games, the execution of these players, it starts with these defensemen. They're doing an excellent job, and first with tape-to-tape passes.
Well, let's continue to talk about balance. There's one guy on this team with over 20 goals on the year. That's Brandon Saad. There are three other guys that are almost there in battling against one another. That's Cam Atkinson, Scott Hartnell, and Boone Jenner. And Atkinson says there's a little bit of an inner locker room competition.
You know what? I'd be lying if guys didn't look at how many points or goals I had, and maybe I'll have a little bet with Hartsey. Whoever has more goals at the end of the season will lose the rest by dinner. But as long as all of us are scoring goals, it gives us our team an opportunity to win every single night. So.
Competition, exactly what the team needs, and this one's good. It's probably not talked about a lot, but hey, Bob, if you get 2 tonight, I want to get 2 tonight too. So good for the Blue Jackets. They're competing in all areas, especially scoring goals.
Well, let's talk about this Boston Bruins team right now. They're a team that's coming into this game off a game in Detroit where they scored 5 times, but they still didn't win. It's been a little bit up and down for them as of late, but they've got some good key players up front. One of them is big body Jimmy Hayes. He's playing with Louis Eriksson, who's having a terrific year. But the guy that is red hot is Brad Marchand.
Yeah, and he's done it the past couple of games without Patrice Bergeron, which is a big deal. Bergeron is a key cog in this team. Yeah, 12 goals in the last 12 games for Marchand. Not a very big guy. He can get under your skin. He had a suspension there in the beginning of January, but effective with the puck and doesn't need much time or space. So the Blue Jackets have got to focus on him. Eriksson, boy, this guy is not the biggest guy, but very smart. Reminds me of a Wenberg, Carlson when you look at the Blue Jackets. Great with the puck, deceptive, and plays in all situations. He's been rewarded this year. He's got a number of points you can see. And then, of course, Jimmy Hayes, big body, picked up in a trade with Florida a few years ago. He uses the big body. He's in front of the goaltender. He knows how to protect the puck. The Blue Jackets can be physical on Jimmy Hayes.
And the Blue Jackets have been physical their last couple of games. That has resulted in wins against Anaheim and against Ottawa. This should be a team that you don't really have to get up for. Bruins show up, you're ready to go.
Well, that's the thing. Well, you look at that Anaheim game and go back 2 games, Blue Jackets owned up to the challenge. They liked the challenge. They met it. It was a physical game that carried over to the last game. And tonight with the Bruins, it's always nasty, and I think the Blue Jackets like that style of game right now.
All right, let's get nasty. That'll do it for the Rink Report. For Jody Shelley, I'm Bob McElligott. Enjoy the game.